yes. We are here to give you another FCP Quickies edition. But today we're going to be discussing the melee of the free agency so far. But before we even get into the main players and all the main fixtures that are moving, I gotta bring you what the streets gotta hear, man. This Rock Nation Sports versus Clutch Sports thing, man. What's going on? Because I know they all got money and everything, but who's really winning the battle out here, man? What's going on with these guys?
Oh man, so definitely. I mean, hey, listen, Rock Nation, you got to give it to Jay-Z for making the power switch and realizing that it's not just music, it's sports, and sports and music have always been intertwined, right? You know what I'm saying? People who play sports want to do music. People who do music want to play sports. So they've always had this unknown attraction to each other.
Mhm.
And I mean, Clutch Sports, man, we're talking about Rich Paul. You know, when LeBron came into the league in 2003, you know, he wanted Rich Paul to be his agent, man. And since then, the brother has just taken off. We'll get into the details, but I think it's a healthy competition. It's two black owned companies from what I
True.
know. And yeah, I'm here to see it. I'm here to talk about it, brother. What are you
Hey man,
thinking?
if you go on Clutch, I gotta go Rock Nation, man. Because then hey man, it's Jay-Z and the team. You know what I'm saying? I know James, I know LeBron James. He got his boy just doing amazing things out the gate. I think he cleared like 350 million on day one. You know what I'm saying? But like Rock Nation, hey man, it's not his first business venture. I'm pretty sure at some point, probably 5, 10 years down the line, Rich Paul might have a price, man. He might bring the whole team to Rock Nation one day. Who knows? He's like, yeah, your billion, my billion, make 2 billion, bro. Let's do this. But
Uh-huh.
Rich Paul, he got a pretty good girl in his corner now, so he might be like, nah, come to my side. You know what I'm saying? Let's your billion, my billion also make two. You know, so we'll see who wins the actual, I guess, escapades on that situation. But as far as
Yeah.
free agency, man, what's the biggest roster shakeup for you so far?
Oh, the biggest roster shakeup, man, has still got to be Marcus Smart. You know what I mean? I mean, Marcus Smart, he was a Boston Celtics staple, and you know, I hate that I was the one that predicted that it was gonna happen, and you can tell it sent shockwaves throughout the NBA. Even when they talked to Marcus, Marcus was like he was sleeping when the trade went down. Um, I think the whole Boston Celtics nation took that one to the chest, man. That was tough. That was tough.
Yeah. On my end, I think it wasn't more of a roster shakeup. I think just a personnel situation with Chris Paul.
Mm,
Just him. I don't think he's honestly. I don't even think he feel like he has a say anymore. His ring chasing situation. How other superstars at their later day, they gotta go. Oh, he's chasing the ring. I don't think Chris Paul's even chasing one anymore at this point. He just. I think he truly just loves the sport. He would love to have a ring. Don't get me wrong, but
hmm.
he's just more so. Hey, this is where I need it. Plug me in. Let's get the
Yeah,
job done. If we happen to get a ring, great. But I think he's kind of pushed the whole got to do it or bust thing to the back of his head. I think he's content if he doesn't get anymore. He's just happy to play now at this point. And now he's playing against a ton of greats and shooters. But is the floor space going to be too crowded with that situation over there? Like,
I mean, at this point, it's like you said, Chris Paul is at that stage in his career where he just wants to, you know, he wants to win a chip, and he doesn't mind moving the ball around. He doesn't mind doing just what they need him to do in order to win. And to exactly what you just said, right? You got Steph Curry. You're hoping that you get an improved and a glimpse of his old self, Klay Thompson. They brought back Draymond, which we're going to get into a little bit later, and they're adding some pieces around them. They still have I'm mad I can't remember the wing player. So they still got a good I want to say a good core of shooters. So I like it for Chris Paul if he stays there. I really don't see a problem there.
okay, okay, I respect that. I respect that. We'll see what happens
Hmm.
now. But the big ticket. Oh, wait, I know you said with Draymond, like, congrats to him. He signed the 4 year. Was it 100 mil? He caught.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong, they had to ship your man Pool out, you know what I mean, to get some extra bullshit cap space that they probably didn't need anyway. But they had to ship him out just to, satisfy the Draymond thing. But do you think him re signing or Pool exiting, which one do you think was front office's main concern? Like making sure Draymond was happy and keeping him, or trying to see if they can work that relationship out? Because it didn't work out.
Definitely keeping Draymond. I mean, Jordan Poole was he was a hell of a one hit wonder with that one season, you know, helping them win a chip. You saw
Mm-hmm.
what happened after the punch, right? He was a shell of himself. He was taking bad shots. He was making bad decisions. And everybody tried to blame it on the relationship with Draymond. Listen, when you're on the court, you're the only one making the decisions for yourself. And I'll never forget, there's that infamous video of after he takes the shot and Steph Curry chucks his mouthpiece like, dude, you are not that guy. I don't care what you did last season. I'm still the dude. You pass me the ball in any situation. I don't care if there's 8 people on me. You try and get me the ball. Like it was Draymond was definitely the priority.
It's funny with that shot. It seemed like the whole world threw their mouthpiece at their houses. They was just like, bro, you got Steph.
Yeah.
Like, but you know what's crazy though? He hits that shot. He's a hero for the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like he may still have a career there, but he doesn't. And I think the world just collectively threw their mouthpiece at the same time with Steph. Like, this is your last shot, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So
it was a series of plays like that though. Like I know there's that shot, but if you go through like during the season and then in the playoffs, it was just a series of games where he just wasn't making the right decisions. And that's what I think was really throwing management off, because let's think about it. To your point, it's a make or miss league. You make it, you're going to make it in this league. If he has a great season, the management team's probably looking at Draymond saying, all right, y'all need to work it out, because Steph's got a couple years left. This guy's young and he's looking like he's ready to learn and take the lead. Y'all got to make it work.
That's no more, no less. That's what's up. That's what's up. But to the big ticket, man, I gotta ask you, bro. Gotta ask you, man. Is it really happening, man? Is Dame really out of here, man? Is he over it? Is he tired of us, man? What's happening, man? Because we need him. No, we need him. Bro, like he's a staple in Portland, man. Is it bridge burnt now without management helping him on a roster side by this point?
Listen, man, it's happened to a lot of point guards in this league, right? I'm trying to look back. Maybe Derek Fisher is probably the only point guard I know from my era of watching basketball that actually stayed. No, he even left at some point. Like it just gets to a point where you've pretty much run the course, right? You know, they've tried several experiments. I think he had a small moment with Brandon Roy when he was there. You had the CJ McCollum experiment. You know, they've tried to fit people around him, but it's just never materialized, right? He's had great series, but it could never get past the hump. So at this point, both sides are probably looking at this like, listen, we can't get nobody to come here. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have to rebuild. And unless you can get one of your friends to come here and really make it happen, the best thing for Dame to do at this point is leave. And I think he really is out, man. And as far as destinations, at first I really liked them going to Philly. I thought him pairing with Embiid would have been a good matchup. They could have put some good pieces around him. Philly has a really grit culture, and you know it's the East, right? You get a chance to actually go to a side where you have a higher probability of getting there, right? There's not much guards over there that can really stop Dame. But the Miami trade looks really good. It's Heat culture, and now you have somebody else on the team who wants it as bad as you and Jimmy Butler, that he'll be the enforcer. Dame just has to come in there and beat Dame. Jimmy will be the one telling everybody they need to get their shit together because they need to win.
Like that's what I saw. Miami might be one of his selected destination spots, but if there was a trade involved, who else would they lose? Because they already lost. Was it Oladipo? Was already moved over? Wait,
I think he just took the play option to stay.
Oh, Copycat, I apologize. Because if he stays now, I know Hero didn't do anything, but I think his contract has him there for another couple of years at a minimum. So who would have to go in order to get Dame? You give up everybody?
I think, and you know, this is credit to the analysts, Woj, all of those dudes. I think it's Hero. I think Hero has to go. There's no way Portland's sending Dame to Miami, and there's gonna have to be a third team. I think there were some rumors about possibly the Nets being involved. There was some guy on one of the analyst shows that was talking about possibly Ben Simmons going to Portland. Tyler Hero ends up in Portland. Yeah, and then a bunch of picks go to Portland. I forgot who the Nets would get from Miami, and then Dame goes to Miami.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a lot of pieces. I don't know who's in charge
yeah,
later, but they got to get that done. But
yeah. I
another,
think Hero ends up in Brooklyn the way they did everything. Yeah,
hey, we got to the playoffs. He can't hurt. You know what I'm saying? So with a healthy version of him, it might work out. But the other big ticket, I know you initially thought Dame would look good as a Philly fit, but with that happening, how is like, is that really a thing happening with James? Is it really out of here? Is Houston really a thing on the way back, or not really?
so that's interesting because Houston just signed Fred Van Fleet, right? We're going to talk about the Rich Paul. I'm trying to look for the best word. I just call it Rich Paul Day. Free agency was pretty much Rich Paul Day. But we'll get into that. With Fred Van Fleet going there now, it's kind of tough because to pay him that kind of money and then bring in James, it's not like they can't play opposite of each other. But at the same time, I think James should make it work in Philly because I think Kenny, he's on the cusp of being the new Carmelo Anthony when Carmelo first went to OKC,
Uh,
and you started to see that it was pretty much the end of Melo's reign in the NBA. He was starting to be treated like that additional vet that you could add that has some skill, but isn't quite who they used to be. Right. And it's not a knock to Melo, it's just how the league saw him at the time. That's not who Melo was, right? We know Melo could drop 30 on anybody at any moment. But I think Harden needs to try and make it work in Philly, do whatever he needs to stay there and give them, the full James Harden package. Otherwise, he is going to slowly slip into vet that old minimum vet feel that teams are just going to say, maybe he'll be a glimpse of himself, but if he's not, at least we didn't spend that much money.
it's funny, like it's weird. Like I know he's approaching that veteran minimum for players, but I think he still kind of fake commands a large veteran minimum. Like you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
His minimum is not what you would like to get from a Melo at his last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? I know he's not
Mm-hmm.
looking for that price point, but I don't know if people want to pay that ticket anymore. But they know you just don't perform when
Yeah.
the lights are brighter. You know what I mean? Like if they were smart, I would sign James to a real bubble kind of contract where a lot of your incentives come in the playoffs. Where if they don't prosper or get there, hey man, we spoke earlier. We're back down to the veteran minimum. If you would have got us out the first round, got us out the second round, you would have hit all these million,
Yeah.
bonuses. But if we're not getting there, we can't get there, bro. Like we're trying
Yeah.
to be at the team, and you out here taking flights to Houston whenever you get a chance. Like you know what I'm saying? We need you. We need you here, bro.
Yeah,
But
man. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if anything, if he goes to a new team, or even if he stays with Philly, I think the max should be a 2 year. Like to lock him down for more than a 2 year means you just have, the money, and you plan on saying after 2 years, if you don't see much, or maybe after 1 year, if you don't see much, you'll deal him. But that's a hell of a risk to put on your books.
facts, big facts. But what other major players has spoken out to you so far on the free agency pool this past week?
Oh, major players. I mean, we had Bruce Bowen was definitely at the top. I was looking to see if the Nuggets were going to keep him. And it's sad, right? I just saw the video of, what I'm saying, Mike Malone there being hype about Bruce, like Bruce ain't going nowhere. But you
Oh,
knew he was going somewhere, man. Their
that was
books
a
are
beat,
too,
right?
yeah. Their books are way too heavy. There was no way they could keep Bruce and what he was going to command. He has been one of the premier role players in the league for a while now. Like if you can go back to when he was on the Nets, I don't know how Brooklyn even let him go, but the
Mm,
books, right? It's all about your books at the end of the day. And that brother commands a good amount of money. He headed over to Pacers. The Pacers also got Obi Toppin. They re-signed Tyrese Halliburton. The Pacers are slowly building something, man. I think if they could get a really good veteran over there, they're going to be something to watch.
okay, okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Gabe Vincent going to the Lakers, that was big.
Mm,
Because Gabe, even though he kind of disappeared in the finals, he definitely fits a role that the Lakers didn't have last year, which is good shooting.
Yes.
And they also brought in Torian Prince and Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is young, so they got younger. Then they re-signed D'Angelo, Rui Hachimura, and Cam Reddish. So they're
Speaking
staying young. Hmm?
Oh no, I was gonna say, staying on Lakers real quick. Did they lock up Reeves?
Yes, yes, and they locked up Reeves. Yeah, yeah.
They needed that. They
So
needed that man.
yeah, so they stayed young. They kept their core together, and I mean, it's going to be interesting, man. If LeBron can give a hell of a 21st year, because year 20 was elite as it was.
Facts.
Lakers could be a problem in the West, man. We could finally get Lakers Nuggets in the finals. I mean, in the
Not mad,
Western Conference Finals.
not mad at that, man. Not mad at that. It was
Yeah.
bad. It felt like Lakers a little undermanned, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, they should have the arsenal, the team. We'll see if it works out. Is it too
Yep.
soon for final predictions? You got Lakers already in the West? Too
No,
soon?
I don't think. I think the Nuggets go back. I mean,
Okay.
Bruce Bowen was a hell of a loss. Don't get me wrong. That was a big, big L. But if they can find themselves another good role player like a Bruce Bowen, they can get back. You know what I mean? Or maybe somebody on the bench that wasn't getting that much run because of Bruce Bowen, maybe they come and step up, and it's right back to it. I don't see why they shouldn't repeat in the West. In the East, man, Boston needs to do something at the guard. Losing Marcus Smart was big. Right now, you just have Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. I think they're getting ready to deal him if they haven't dealed him already. So I'm very concerned about them at the guard. Malcolm Brogdon is gone. There's no way they survive the East next year without bringing in a solid point guard. There's no way.
That's. Yeah, man. Free agency, man. It's been a hell of a turn. We still got a lot more to go before the season starts. But yeah, is there anything else you're looking forward to that hasn't been locked in yet?
Well, I mean, I want to go back and give Rich Paul his flowers. I mean, what he did that first day was awesome, man. We're talking about almost 500 million in deals. Fred VanVleet got 3 year, 130. Jeremy Grant got 5 years, 160. We talked about Draymond, 4 years, 100 million. He got Jordan Clarkson, 3 years and 55 million. 2 years and 8 million for Troy Brown, great role player, and then 2 years, 4.6 million for Cam Reddish. And he still has more clients to go. So that estimated 500 million is going to be even higher. And to your point, what we were talking about earlier, when you got someone, what I'm saying, like Nicole Lynn, who is doing an awesome job on the football front. If I'm coming out of college, I'm probably going to Clutch Sports just for the simple fact that his knowledge alone, Rich Paul's knowledge alone supersedes Rock Nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got 20 years of experience, spent, I think, the first, 9 with CAA before he started Clutch. And now to have the mindset to think, I'm not going to go over to the NFL and try and figure that out. No, I'm going to find the best person who's got the football experience being an agent, and I'm going to bring him in. If he's already thinking like that, then just imagine what he's going to start to do with soccer, with any others, baseball, all of that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that kind of mindset. And then, of course, these young kids, they love LeBron. I'm coming to Clutch Sports.
Thanks. Can't get mad at that. But yeah, he's like Big was a step for him. Like he's past that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pause. But he's doing what he has to do out there. But yeah, so if he's not already putting his fingers into the worldwide landscape as far as sports and media marketing and all that, everything, I'm pretty sure by this time next year you will hear about it on the MLS front and then many others. But okay, sports, he definitely is the leader as far as managing, using agent. You know what I'm saying? It's super done there. Yeah, man. Anything else you got for the free agency, Quickie?
Knicks, y'all need to do something. I like the PG-13 swirl out there. I think that would be a good fit. He's not a flashy player. He doesn't demand much. He's a defensive-oriented dude. Yes, there's questions about his injuries, but I think if you can plug him into that system, they signed Dante DiVincenzo. So they pretty much have Little Villanova in New York because now you got Jalen Brunson. You got Josh Hart and you got DiVincenzo now playing together. So you bring in a guy like PG, man. If Julius Randle can be a glimpse of his 2019 self, you're probably looking you're 2 series away from the finals, right? So if you get better, you stay healthy, you should be able to make the same strides or better this coming season. So I think the Knicks need to make that happen.
You know the Knicks. We got we come outside. We got the jacket open. We here. I mean, we just don't like to step on the street. We just move a sidewalk kind of team. We see where the action is. Like we see it passing by. You know, New York City, everything's dropping fast. You know, we just wait for the light to change for us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
We're just not there yet, but we'll get there. We will get there, man. We will get there. Outside of that, bro, yeah, man, NBA free agency, bro. A lot more to come. A couple more things to go for. Trying to think of any team I want to see do a little bit more before the next season starts. That'd be Kyrie. He locked up over in Dallas.
Yes.
That's good to see because I know he was kind of fake, very cryptic with the "I'm looking for a home" tweets. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's what you want, man. Like, but you know what I mean? Dallas seems to be the place for him for at least another 2 years. So we'll see how that goes.
Man. I don't like that, man. I don't like that team up with Luka, man. This looks like Damon and CJ McCollum all over again. Like, it's fun. They're gonna score a lot of points, but they're not gonna go nowhere. They are not gonna go nowhere. It's just, they're gonna keep running into the Lakers. They're gonna keep running into the Nuggets. So they're gonna keep running into teams that just have more. And yeah, man, I don't see it.
Dang. You think Luka? Now Luka's locked up for like a lifetime. I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm about to say, would he force his way out at this point if he sees it's not working midway season by the time All-Star break comes? If they're like just at 500, I wonder if he tries to opt out or put his foot down or some shit to get more people. But who else do you want more than Kyrie to put points in the basket? If anything, now it's defense problems. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Exactly. Like, to me, I would have went after a Bruce Bowen type player. I would have went after a power forward or a center that just I would have tried to probably bring Dwight Howard back to the NBA just to have somebody down there that's just all about defense. And like they need to bring in people that have that grit, man. And right now they don't have it.
Nah, man. But, we'll see, man. Who else was I caring about? What I can think of offhand outside of the people kind of touched on already. But yeah, man, it's always funny come I'm not really into the I guess the new 2K rosters and everything when a new game comes out.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the final changes to the new game drops. You go, oh shit! I didn't know he was over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? You start having mad fun with a new creative player. That was a real guy. We'll see, man. There's a lot more to come, but we shall see. Anything else on the free agency front, my man?
That's it, man. We will see what other moves happen before. I think it's July 15th when they can actually start signing. Or whatever. So yeah.
All right, man. Another week of the free agency madness. But as always, man, FCP game, Quickies out here. It's a long quickie. Now, I mean, if you're that kind of guy. Showing up with the honey pack in your back pocket. But yeah, man, this is the FCP team, and we catch you in the next quickie.